Oh, I asked a question and nobody answered me, so.
I know, that's fine.
I probably didn't hear it.
Would that be an email? Yeah, sorry, it was all weekend, I haven't done it.
Yeah.
It's live.
Okay, back up, because a few months ago, we said it was in the budget, the finance of the budget, so she did this correctly.
Right, call to order. Mayville Finance Committee of the whole special meeting. Discussing 2024 budget items. 6:01. Can you take the roll, please?
Ken Newman,
Here.
Kim Olson. Here. And Joe Tillman.
Here. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
And 3 citizen comments. There are no citizens. Item 4, discuss 2024 budget items. 1 EMS. Did anybody have any additional questions regarding the EMS budget?
I do, I have a couple of questions for Christine. So, at the county level, they're putting aside $2 million. What you think will be having to consolidate in a couple of years?
Well, first of all, the county cannot dictate to anyone a consolidation, so that will not happen. They cannot tell people that they must consolidate. So that won't happen. They can make recommendations on what they'd like to see. But that $2 million is also in question on whether or not it's actually going to be put aside based on ARPA funding needed for roads and everything else. So there's been no meetings. For the last meeting we had was 7 months ago to discuss county funding for EMS, and it's pretty much gone to the wayside with everything that they have going on.
Okay. It's the fire department's not here, but that's what I'm wondering. Are we gonna meet requirements of the fire department? Are we gonna end up consolidating? I hope not. I really do. I like it the way it is.
And I mean, our EMS is sound and as solid as we are. I can see there might be a point on either side of us where they need additional assistance and where they may ask the city whether or not we'll take over services for their locations. Like, you know, I'm a firm believer, eventually there will be a northeast and a full-time northeast ambulance service, but I don't see that happening for years, but it could happen tomorrow. Suddenly, if they shut their doors and they need help, it could happen tomorrow that we would be supporting them. But right now, everybody seems to be doing a fairly decent job staffing and working together, and so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, you saw that in Milwaukee or the outlying counties, Whitefish Bay, Bayside, Fox Point.
Yep.
They're now known as the North Shore Fire Department.
Yeah.
So you saw,
Yeah.
that they combine all their EMS, and obviously it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense on the level of service, monetary, and then revenue and everything else. And then buying equipment too.
Yeah, so everybody doesn't have a ladder truck and
Right.
everything. So, yeah.
Exactly.
That answered my question.
I have another question on the EMS.
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fire department. We're squared away there.
Yeah, didn't we go through or?
Yep, but we're just
double checking.
I think I have to put everything back on.
Okay.
The original one, so we can just go through.
Perfect.
I don't
Thank
have
you for being here tonight.
I don't have any questions on the fire department. I know, the ladder truck was discussed, and I think that's for on Thursdays. So I don't think we have to touch on that today. Do you have any questions on fire, Ken?
Just that ladder truck and without,
That'll be on, we're gonna have a meeting Thursday.
all right.
So on the DPW. Anybody have questions on that?
Just their loader.
I think
Is that
that's
on there
part of
also?
third day as well,
Okay.
part of the expenditure, the capital.
The special request for department heads?
Yep. So yeah, we'll probably skip this special request when we get to that,
Okay.
because I think that's gonna be all on that third day.
Okay.
Hey, nothing on that.
No, not at all.
Recreation, I don't think there was anything. They're all lumped in a tag, right?
Yeah, they're combined together. And John pretty much covered that. Along with Parks Department.
Parks, I have nothing, no questions on parks either. Library. I don't think I had any issues with any of that, either, no questions on that.
I do have a question, if somebody knows, has the library been sold? Has there been any takers, does anybody?
Well, we don't have a real.
Is that on Thursday? The common council meeting?
Okay. All right, there's rumors
Tony
going on, I'm like, you
I-
can't
I-
tell.
what's that?
Rumors.
Tony wrote a check.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard anything about
Need extra parking.
Been on library,
And
police? Any questions? I don't question.
No,
Anything on police?
Jeremy did a fine job in your absence.
Is there emergency government? I don't have any. So that, or was that on one of these sheets for last week with them?
Brian,
They were separate. Do you want to come up and talk, Ryan, at all, or? There was separate budget.
Was there a sheet for that?
I don't know. No?
Whatever I got was in your point finder.
that came up last year.
I know what the numbers are.
Oh, good.
It's on my head, so.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There was an increase, I increased the maintenance and equipment budget for both, by $1,000 for maintenance, because I have a contract with a company out of Appleton that comes and does maintenance on each of the 9 towers, to the $400 a tower. And generally, this next year would be the third year that we would have them come to maintenance. And generally, there's around $1,000 of batteries or parts or whatever that need to be replaced or whatever, because as of 2 years ago, the sirens had not been maintained or looked at for 9 years. So they're starting to get towards the end of their lifespan. We did replace one up on Breckenridge Street 5 years ago. But I do want to put into capital borrowing next year to look at replacing all 9 of the towers. We can replace them with 3 towers that will cover the entire city. It'll be a computer automated system that we can control from our building. Right now, we have no way to tell whether the sirens are working properly or not. It's just basically word of mouth by someone says it did work on the test on Saturdays. So that's something for the future that I'll look at to replace those. If the council feels we need to keep them, keep going with the tornado sirens. There's a lot of communities that don't use them anymore. In the past, the council has always been in favor of keeping them and maintaining them, but to discussion due on. So I just increased those couple of line items, the maintenance and equipment, just to reflect the current cost of maintenance and the rising costs of just general batteries and parts and equipment, et cetera. So that was the only change with those. It was a minimum amount. I think the total was $1,500 of an increase. And I think that gives the total budget for emergency management was somewhere around $7,000 or somewhere there. So.
Hey, wasn't there something else pertaining to emergency government last year having to do with being with Dodge County, better system? You're gonna have to help me. I got a good memory, but it's short. Something to do with Dodge County system and the surrounding towns with, better frequency, faster, a faster system. I don't remember what you call it.
I don't know if you're talking for like radios or computers or.
I think it was computers or just emergencies in general.
Yep, what we have is we have a rave notification system, but that's phone notification system, it wouldn't have anything to do with
Okay.
power alerting. there are communities that are going without power alerting, saying you get your information, but I think a lot of citizens would be against that.
Right.
Okay, all right, thanks.
So, yeah, so that's all there is to emergency management.
Thank you.
Maintenance and parts.
All right, thanks, Randy.
Very well.
Oh, one thing I should add with emergency. We do training quite often, but we've been taking that out of our training budget for the department, so that's worked out fine. I don't see a reason to have two different training budgets for that. It's like Lieutenant Johnson just went to 2-3 days over in Waupun for emergency management. Updates and that type of thing, so the training budget I removed from. Emergency management, but we just, it doesn't cost a lot. For that particular training, it's just time on our site, so we just been taking that in police book.
Okay,
Right?
thank you.
Thank you. That's fine. Anything else? Good. And general admin, I think this is what clerk was under, right? So I know we had discussed the budget for the increasing some of the stuff for the election. And Christina reached out to Karen Gibson. You should have a copy of that email. Just reference some issues that are some items that we should make sure that we're budgeting accordingly for.
Was the calculation come up with the increase of that? Have we come to a number? Not yet,
She didn't, I mean,
okay,
she just kind of, I mean, she gave some guidance. Did you read the email? So I mean, just guidance on what
I did,
doubling from last year's.
okay,
So I know we talked about election wages going to 7,000 instead of 5. Although she did recommend going beyond, getting beyond that. So maybe we should revisit that.
even higher than 7,000.
Well, her recommendation was to double it and then add, because the expectation there will be some longer nights with it being a presidential election.
Right.
I have no guidance in terms of where to place that number.
I don't know if this applies or not, but I also asked Karen if an election worker can come in and help start filing some of the stuff from April's election that is piling up in the clerk's office that needs to be alphabetized and put in books and all this. And she said she was, and that's the other part of that email, is she doesn't think that there would be an issue with that. So I don't know if that would apply to put
Yeah, we should probably consider
and
that too.
some of that, if we can get one to help. I don't even know who's out there. so.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking back at the .2 actual was 6,800. We wouldn't even have had a presidential election, so I guess we should probably consider Nothing like postage, so I think we should probably take a look at that. These are all on the second page, towards the top.
Yeah, she said double that.
But we don't even have anything in there, so we should probably,
There's 6 from last year, so. 12, right? You said double without.
it looks like I'm just going, the actual number from last year was 702. 600 was the budget.
So 14. I'd say, I just said budget a little higher, 1,500.
Yeah.
For postage, because you said you're gonna be emailing, or not emailing, I'm sorry, mailing out a lot more absentee ballots in 2024.
Plus the
Presidential.
plus to go up again.
Yeah. So I'd say 15 is sufficient, right? If we don't spend it, we don't spend it. And double it for, what was the other one? We're looking at, double it.
Meals,
Yeah, I know, yeah,
so like actual on meals in the last one was 295. In 22. And again,
the budget is for 200, so I'd say, what, 400?
well,
600.
if you look at the 2022 actual number.
Yeah.
It was at 300 almost,
Yep, 295,
then we're gonna be more than that.
so I'd say 6. Just by recommendation to the account, she said double that. Like I said, if we don't spend it, we don't spend it.
Easier to have it there and not need it, right?
I'd say 6.
You good with that, Kim?
6,000
No,
600 for me, yeah.
over meals.
Steaks for everyone.
All right,
you get a steak, you get a steak, you get a steak.
that might be on the high side,
Yeah.
but like you said, it'd rather be enough than not enough.
So 600 on. You can. If you look at the actual numbers for publication in 21 and 22, they were significantly higher than we've got as well. 760 and 700. I'm sure the cost of that's gone up.
Where's that?
Directly below meals.
Okay.
They have just printing.
Got publications and notice, obviously, for our agendas and all that, elections.
Right. And we're only doing, they got 400 budgeted. But again, if you look back at 21 and 22, they're 760 and 700 are like the actual numbers.
So we're off on that, so I would, obviously, you want to bump that up.
Double that? 8?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
That's fine with me.
Printing,
looks like right on there, 400.
equipment maintenance, looks like that's probably fine, right? Yep,
I will give this something.
that's at 600 and that's all a little bit from last year, but again, there's gonna be more going on.
823 and 22.
That's on equipment. The maintenance is a lot above that. That was 4 last year, 6 this year, I think that seems reasonable. Equipment probably needs to be higher, right?
That's where I said we spent 823, 22.
Right. Or we don't have anybody here that was part of the last one, so. I think, we have no guidance, I mean, right, kind of just swinging it.
I can ask Karen, she's gonna be here to help me again tomorrow for a little while. What is it at now?
Equipment,
500.
equipment is at 500, but 2022 was 823 was the actual spend.
And then maintenance?
The maintenance, I think we're okay with that.
Good, 600.
That was, I mean, it's higher than it's been any of the previous years.
We just go 8%.
It's 800 on the elections equipment
Yeah.
and call it a day.
Yeah,
I mean, I would think it'd be at least that because it was 22, we would have had a number of elections as well. I don't know if it was 4, but. What do you think, Tim, on the equipment?
I'll go on with what you guys think, because I'm not sure what they do for the equipment.
I'm not either, this is where it's tough not having somebody here that was involved in it.
We make a call and call Sue Smith.
I mean, it's gonna be more than last year, right? Because we have 4, not 2.
Correct.
And I mean, the cost of everything is, as we all know, up significantly, so
Why don't we,
I don't think 500 is adequate.
no,
why don't we leave it at 800?
I'm comfortable with that.
Question mark. As a reminder to myself. Okay, so are we gonna have to allow something for education and training as well?
I mean, there's nothing in any of the previous years.
I'm showing 1,045
Where,
education and training.
there's nothing in any of those.
Okay.
They're looking under the right. That's under city hall. You're too low.
Okay.
Elections training is up higher. That's like 9 down from the top. What that's part is not to backtrack here, but what, do we come to a number on wages? I know we started at we talked about 7,000. Last time. So with this being presidential election, do we need to bump that a little bit?
I'm not sure. Are there gonna be more people working? Are there going to be? If we increase the rate while we were here last year, I thought we did a little increase last year. Last year. What, Tony, you happen to have it right off the top here?
For what?
I'm seeing Tony's got it as fingertips, otherwise I'll search.
For the prior year's numbers. There was 5,000 last year, 3,500 the year before, 6,800 and 22, 2,872 and 21.
All right. So 7,000 probably would be a good number.
I mean, I think that's at least,
Thank you,
No
Tony.
qualms.
You're welcome.
we venture to go 8 since we were at 6,800. I mean, that's probably reasonable.
You know, I mean, I go 8.
So we're doing this.
Okay. I'd rather have enough than none.
So 8 on the sheet. With the next time council, we gotta have any conversation or discussion about potentially the dual role administrator clerk position. Do we need to revisit what we're budgeting for salary? So that in the event that we move in that direction, we've got funds.
Okay. And where would you want to put that?
Well, this is all kind of lumped under general administration, right? This sheet here.
Yeah,
So I think that it would go somewhere in general admin wages. Right on page 1. Third, second item.
Fine, 20, I asked you last time, we back, it was 93,000, that's where we're at the end of the box. For the budget, 2024, 93, 369.30 to be exact. Again, health insurance in there too. Retirement fund. And you're bringing up, Joe, if we're gonna create a new position, so at least it'd be in the budget. As a city administrator.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you should have a conversation, is so if it moves that direction, we're kind of in a pinch if we're not planning ahead.
Sure.
I mean, if it's budgeted for and it doesn't, we don't,
Yeah.
we're not saying that, we're not losing anything by being prepared. Where if we don't address it, or if we're not prepared for it now, and we kind of stuck in a pinch next year trying to figure out how we're gonna tackle it.
But I put that's-
The salary,
in the budget, yeah.
I think that we probably gotta take a look at these. all the additional
Health insurance.
food insurance and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. It's probably in the ballpark of the cost for that position. And we probably need a little help figuring out the rest of these numbers in terms of, insurance.
Well, the big one's just, you go right down the line and double it up. I mean, that's what you're gonna look at. Be reasonable. Sure, you're at 193,000, you're at 27,000 for health insurance, you're at, that might be, like you said, you're not a benefits expert, neither am I. So I would just, that you're adding another person, so this is one clerk's position at 93,000. And then 27,000 for health. You'd add another 27,000 for health, go right down the line and go vacation pay 4,000. Holiday pay 3,000. Double.
Why is vacation pay a separate line item? Good question, because when I get paid for vacation, it's part of my salary, right?
Not an HR guy,
I don't know, that's why I'm asking, I'm not either.
but I would go right down to in the retirement fund, double that too. I would just, if you're gonna. If that happens down the road, the creation of an administrator or the council passes it, I'd at least obviously have it monetary and sure in the budget going, here's where we are.
Yeah, I think we need to plan.
It makes sense because you don't want.
We're through to council at this point, right, so, we're right there.
Is that separate because you have overly deputy clerks for litigation?
Oh, that could be, I don't know, I don't know, it's been on there historically, so I'm not, I don't think there's anything weird with it, I don't know how it works, so.
But that's how I would think. It's not my double.
So just double all of this down the line.
Well, yeah,
Go from,
because we're taking social and Medicare, you're just taking that same amount of,
right, so
Right.
basically all of these benefit items,
I would just
double.
yeah. At least. The proposed budget, that goes to council.
I agree, I think we should be
Proactive instead of.
planning for it
Yeah.
instead of
Reactive.
getting into a spot where next year we're trying to figure out what to do where to come up with the money. Tim, any thoughts?
I think we should just double it, like you said, and, that way we're prepared, if we come under, wonderful.
So you're looking at adding 100 to the wage. And then just doubling everything else down the line. I'm comfortable with that, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think 100 is right in the ballpark. It's between 90 and probably 90 and 110. So. And other than that, I don't have any other things that I would like to address under the clerks. I think we got all of it. Kim, you got anything else under clerk or under general admin?
I'm okay with that,
We ready to move on?
I am.
Okay. 11, utility. I don't think we had any, I didn't have any additional questions regarding that.
I have nothing either.
Kim?
I'm okay with it too.
Okay, special request from department heads. I think we're going to touch on that on Thursday's meeting. That's the capital projects and those things are in there, right?
So I should be sending out a message to all of the department heads that they should be here.
Yeah, they should be for Thursday. Yeah. And I know I talked to the mayor today about making sure that we get that posted,
It is.
so. Okay, 13 is contributions, Main Street, Mayville. I don't have any info on that, so I don't know
Okay,
where that's listed.
I think we should keep those amounts the same. At least keep them the same.
I don't know where they are.
It's in general admin, it's on the second page, of what we're looking at for a clerk. So it's like, line number 3, contribution Main Street, and then change.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, yeah, I remember
City.
talking about this last meeting.
We
So-
routinely, give to Mayville, Main Street, Mayville. Chamber of Commerce, and I think the other one's called, except for beautification, is that listed there?
City events and there's
Education Center,
education center.
so that's CPR.
No.
Okay, so those Main Street Mayville contribution, give the commerce thing, I have no issue with that.
Yeah, I would like to at least keep it the same. It could probably go up a little bit, but a little bit of an increase.
It used to be in the old days, it was 10,000 to the chamber, 10,000 to Main Street. Before your time, just so you know, I'd be like Mike Schmidt right now for a second. But it was $10,000,
Okay,
and then it dropped, and then, the guy sitting right here talking, I took it away from the chamber. I took it away from Main Street. People didn't like me, but that's okay. You don't have to like me. And then it came back, obviously, when I was gone, but I don't know, it was 10,000 and 10,000. That's what it was. And I don't see any problem. I don't see any problems with it.
Yeah, what they did is they took 10,000 and then the other 10, they split 5,000 each. It's actually 3 categories and yeah, begged for that basically. So if we can stick with the same numbers, I would appreciate it.
I mean, I'm fine with the Main Street Mayville contribution. Staying the same, go to Chamber of Commerce would stay the same. 15, I don't know where 15 is. Cemetery,
Yeah, what did we?
I don't see that on here, so.
Yeah. I can't remember. What's it, 2,500? Let me see if I can find it.
Unless it's one of these. I hope it's not city events.
No, it's not an entity of its own.
My only question was who gets. It was 10 and 10, they split it down, you said Kim 5. I see 2,500, obviously, contribution to city events and education center, that's 5,000 for the chamber, 7,500 for Main Street Mayville.
What
is-
is education center?
And then what does city events do? Is it Rocket Boom or I don't know?
No, Rock and Move's on its own.
Okay,
City events is to help pay for the bands that,
Right on here.
well, and here, what it used to be down
Okay.
there, but now we've only got the square
okay. So that pays for the square, so,
for the band
or it's a contribution,
Right.
and whatever else is needed.
and then who runs that parks? Who
It's
gets it, who gets that money?
Main
Where does it,
Street Mayville runs that,
okay,
Don Ken.
so they get, yeah, but they get 7,500, then they get 2,500 also, that's what I'm asking.
Here, I got a cluster here, let me see what you're looking at.
Your. $2,500. 7,500. The chamber. City events, the education center, I'm guessing. I don't know what the education center is. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
So when I. That's what I was asking. If this is going, that's fantastic, the money's going down to the city.
Right,
I just wanna know if that's helping pay the bands and also going to write a check out of there
right.
from here or there.
And the education center should be all involved with this. Well, for some reason it's broken off. So do you want a more exact answer for that? Should we hold off on that?
What is the question?
The education center, because I'm not sure what it is.
Did you know what that is, Paul?
I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Can we hold it then?
So just,
Well,
man, we've
that's gotta go to council anyway, I just wanna know what it is.
Right, right. Yeah, me too. So I can reach out and ask that question tomorrow.
Okay.
Dave? Cemetery, I don't see cemetery on here, so.
Yeah, usually we do.
I don't see it on here though, so I don't know where, I don't know what the dollar amount is.
I was trying to find that.
It was in parks. It was in Parks Department. There was a line item in parks in this budget. In the purple.
Yeah.
Streamline budget. Go down in expenses. Repairs and maintenance. 98,000. Then it's 2,200. 98,000 is for the tax levy. Fund 15, I don't know what it was. Capital improvements, senior center trust, you go across and it's the year-to-date or fiscal year 2024 total budget's $100,000. It includes Graceland Cemetery request of $16,850. And Murley would know that because I know they have expenses cutting grass and they have expenses with gasoline and maintenance and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, it used to be on its own, but the only thing I can think of, did they just put the new roads up there? Oh, they did?
Just St. John's.
Okay, that's not on the city at all. Okay, never mind that.
Grayson did, it was just St. John's.
Okay. Right, I'm not sure.
Where was that historically?
It
Where was that
was,
place historically? Because I'm looking at the old,
right. Let me see if I can
Prior,
find
but-
the store on it.
Yeah, he did agree. Between us and the kids, they put it in the parks.
What was it in the past? When did you speak?
Oh, I just said that Merlin did give me paperwork on it, but, working with Sickage, we decided to put it in the parks.
Oh,
So-
that's why,
Yeah,
okay.
so in the past, I'm not sure where. Used to
Where it
be.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But it makes sense for parks because of. Yeah. Grass mowing.
right, yeah, exactly.
And gasoline.
Yeah.
Repairs,
but would it
maintenance,
would it be part of the city?
but we get money for that, right? There's state money or something.
I think so. I don't know for sure, but I think we get something.
To help out,
Right,
but it barely covers
right, you're right,
the
yeah,
cost.
right.
I mean, I don't know what it was last year, so if you're comfortable with it.
I don't
I
know.
can't even find it, so, okay, fine, so. Unless you have a problem with it, Kim, we can run.
I have no problem with it, I'm just not used to it being in that category, that's why I'm having problems finding it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it in this
That's okay,
prior budget
you
that I.
gotta remember that's
And
where it is now.
Tony would be considered a donation from us or contribution from the city.
I guess in a way it could, yeah.
Cause I think maybe the fund 15 is that state money or not? Off of this budget?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
Off the top of
well,
my
10 is, fund 10 is tax levy, so
Yeah.
that's a majority of that right there is 98,000. And it comes up to 100,000, there's like $2,200 from fund 15. So that could be contributed, I don't know.
Good. With that,
I have no problem.
CDA, 16. I don't like that, when any of these? Is that honest?
Okay, so we are showing Tony, what is there, $40-some thousand left over in that CDA fund? What do you have for a number?
I don't have that off the top of my head.
Okay. Let's,
Oh, there's also a facade grant,
correct,
so, yeah, I don't have the actual number
okay,
for that fund, so.
let's address that. I can compile, unless you can find it.
You mean you're talking about the previous years?
I'm trying to look at last year's right now to find where we have it.
20, it's up 25,808 was last year's, the last 3 years.
I just found cemetery. It was 16,000. Okay,
Same ballpark.
1650, yep, perfect.
for something, find something.
CDA is the 21, 22, and 23 was 25,808. I don't see, I mean, I don't know what is this, so I guess we'll have to get that info for this.
Yeah, let's get that.
Move the landfill. I don't know what that is either. If that's been addressed in here or not. Or if it's lumped into one of these other ones.
It should
It should
be.
be separate.
Yeah, I don't.
I have that budget or no, Tony? On those,
For the
I
landfill.
don't remember seeing anything for landfill.
okay,
I mean, I'll shoot an email out in the morning, so, or maybe tonight even. So I guess I'll email and see what we can do to get that. We may have to, I'll be in this here tomorrow.
So we are coming tomorrow meeting.
Well, not if we.
we got everything.
We got the handle squared away, we'll need tomorrow.
No,
Okay.
Thursday we'll do to get those remaining items. Time for
department heads.
hosting. I mean, I don't know where any of these last number of items
All right.
are, so I don't know. I didn't see them anywhere, so I don't know if you guys did.
I can find them in last year's.
I can find last year, but I don't know where.
We need to know the budget.
Yeah. That I didn't see.
So nothing consumer loans, Tony? Nothing on contingency fund,
No,
tip 4, 5, 6,
no, nothing specific, no.
okay,
On any of these, okay, so I guess I'm just gonna go right down the line, I'll shoot an email out about. Page 2, which is community development, landfill, customer loans, contingency fund, tip 4, 5, and 6, cable TV and debt fund. Okay. I think then we can move on to item 6.
motion adjourned,
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
49.
Okay, to be clear. Are we coming here tomorrow night?
Yeah, because we're gonna have
Okay.
to, we can go through those last couple of
All
things.
right. I want to make sure I have it in my